This is the epidemiology worksheet. We're going to be looking at where we think our intended or target population is on the epidemiology scale, if you will. We're going to try to make assumptions about what the proportion of population is going to be in each of 5 possible conditions or epidemiology stages. The first epidemiology stage is that there's no detectable risk or condition. The second would be that they're HPV positive and or atypia in the case of cytology, but have no visually detectable abnormalities. And usually there's a small percentage of people who will fit into that group. The third group will be those who have visible small precancerous lesions and are eligible for an ablation therapy, such as cryotherapy or thermal ablation. The fourth group is going to be those with large precancerous lesions visible who are not eligible for ablation, but then would be eligible for LEAP or LETS. Then you finally have those who have suspected cancer visible, and there will be a percentage of people who will be found during screening procedures, and those people have to be accounted for as well. Now, you're going to be able to adjust the sliders on this particular page to come to a proportion in the target population that as a total will add up to 100%. And so when you are pushing on these little sliders or grouping these sliders, you will see that the proportion of the target population changes. And to help you, it will also tell you if you're over or under 100%. So for example, here I'm going to move down to saying, I think there's going to be maybe 1.6% of my population who I selected. And remember, that goes back to the target population you selected will have suspected cancer visible when we do our primary and also our follow-up or triage screenings. So that leaves me now with saying, okay, well, I'm still over here. So I'm going to suggest that maybe the proportion who are going to be having no detectable risk will be right about there, which is 82.4%. And that's going to make this 100%. Now, as you're moving through this and doing your analyses, remember that you can go back and you can change your epidemiology assumptions while keeping all other variables the same. And you will see what the change is, not only in the outputs that you're going to have, but also the costs that you're going to have. Many people ask, where can I get these epidemiology assumptions? And in some places, they can be fairly hard to get, like in the case of Africa. But there are studies that have been done, which we will link you to, that you can see what the general epidemiology assumptions are for parts of Africa. And you can do the same thing for Asia and for Latin America. Chances are, though, if you've gone through the process of doing your planning and doing a strategy, that you will have a basic assumption about what your epidemiology is going to be for your target populations. And this is where you would put it in.